And the last chapter or the last section from chapter 13 is about collisions. Sadly, a collision is probably something that we are all going to experience in our driving life. Sometimes it's going to be your fault. Sometimes it's going to be other people's fault. But there's some things that you can do to avoid and to lessen the impact of collisions. Sometimes there is nothing that you can do. You're driving in your lane. It's like I tell my classes all the time. Driving is kind of the one thing that you will do that you have absolutely no control over. Okay, you can do everything right and still end up in a bad accident. Okay, and part of that comes because of the other roadway users. So if you know that you're going to be in a collision, there's no avoiding it. Okay, there are some things that you can do. All right, first of all, don't give up. Okay, make every effort you can to avoid the collision. Keep control of your vehicle. Okay, anything you can do, okay, within, hopefully is going to lessen the impact of the collision. And so let's look at some of the things you can do. So if you're driving down the road and you see a car coming at you, and that car is over the center line, and you've done about everything that you can, and it's happening very quickly, you know that if that car doesn't make a move, there's nothing you can do. All right, make sure that you maintain vehicle control. Okay, both hands on the steering wheel. Okay, brake hard. Don't lock your wheels, but brake as hard as you can. Okay, slowing down is going to lessen the force of impact for you. While you're doing that, blow your horn, flash your lights. Maybe the other driver will recognize what's going on and they can correct as well. And try to get as far to the right side of your lane as possible. So all of those are things that you can do to try to avoid that head-on collision. And if you're not successful in avoiding the head-on collision, they will help lessen the impact. Okay. If you have to, drive off the road. Okay. If you got a car coming over and it takes that last second kind of jolt towards you, if you cut your steering wheel hard and it ends up hitting the side of your vehicle, that's better than hitting them head on. Okay, it's going to lessen the force or the impact of the collision. A side impact. Okay, if you see a car and like this happens a lot when you're on a road and you're in a car's blind spot and they go to change lanes. Okay, you realize a car's cutting over on you. Either brake or accelerate. Okay, try to avoid that collision as much as possible. Okay, blow the horn to let the other driver know. Then, if necessary, swerve or change lanes. Get as far away from the vehicle that is causing this potential collision as quickly as possible. Okay, a rear end collision. You're sitting at a stoplight. You've got a car coming up behind you. You see that car does not appear to be slowing down. The light's red, so you can't just pull through the intersection. Okay, but you see that car is coming up, start hitting your brakes. All right, warning that car, hey, maybe they don't see you, so if you're hitting your brakes, you're warning them that you're there. If that car is still coming, check your front zones. All right, if possible, accelerate. Okay, move forward. That's going to give the car behind you even more time. So maybe they see you late. That's going to give them the ability, the option of slowing down and coming to a stop. Okay, if the intersection is clear, accelerate through. Okay, if it's not clear, turn to your right. Okay, so accelerate and turn right. That should help you to avoid most situations of traffic. All right, but what you want to try to do is to keep that person from hitting behind you. If there's nothing you can do, there's traffic coming through the intersection. Okay, there's no zone for you to travel. Keep your wheels straight. Okay, right before the car hits you, let off your brake. Okay, what that's going to do is it's actually going to, the car hits, instead of it coming to a dead stop into you, it's going to kind of push your car. Okay, and then as soon as the car hits, that's when you hit your brakes and you begin to try to slow down. Okay, keep you from traveling into another lane. As long as your wheels are straight, you should go straight ahead. All right. If you're in a collision, there's a couple things you have to do. First of all, stop. Okay. It's against the law, a hit and run situation where you do not stop for a collision. Move your vehicle to the side of the road. Okay. Don't leave your vehicle where it's blocking traffic unless it's so damaged that it's impossible to move. Okay. Take some pictures, move to the side of the road. If you're in a parking lot and you damage a vehicle, try to find the owner. If you can't, leave a note with your contact information, your name, address, phone number. Okay. That way they can contact you for insurance purposes. Okay. Let the police know. Hey, I was in the Walmart parking lot. I backed into somebody, and follow their directions. Okay. If anybody is hurt, aid the injured, but do not move an injured person. Okay. If somebody, especially if they've got a neck or a back injury, you do not want to move them until paramedics arrive. If there's danger that the vehicle is going to catch fire, okay, that is when you move that person, because you're hoping that, if the car catches fire, they're definitely gone. Okay, but if there's not a danger of the car catching fire or some other major issue, go ahead and let that person sit there until the paramedics arrive. Okay, administer first aid. All right, try to stop any bleeding. Try to help with situations of shock. Okay, render first aid if you need to. Okay, CPR if you need to. Okay, warn other traffic. Okay, put your flashers on if possible. If you got flares or reflectors, put them 100 feet ahead of and behind you so that other cars are able to tell what's going on and somebody else doesn't run into you at the collision. If you witness a collision, stop. Okay, give your name, and then let the cops know what you witnessed. Okay. Once you have stopped, aided the injured, prevented further damage, call for the police. All right, let them know that you've been in a collision. Let them know if anybody's injured. Okay, and then get with the other person. You're going to exchange your name, your address, your driver's license. The cop usually helps to kind of facilitate that. They're going to file a report and they'll give you a copy of that report so you have all that information. Okay. If there's witnesses that have stopped, get their name, phone number, and address. Okay. Take pictures of the collision for insurance purposes of your car, for insurance purposes. Okay. And tell the police what happens. Be honest and accurate. Okay. You do not want to end up in a situation where you lie to the police officers. It was your fault. You were looking at your phone. You tell a lie, and then they're able to come back and say, well, you know what? You lied to us. Okay. You don't want to do that. Make sure you tell them honest and factual information. Okay. Then you'll have to get repair estimates and all of that stuff for your insurance. Call your insurance company and begin the process of getting your car fixed.